All right, I am finally happy with how the new hinge system is working and got all of the alignment done. So I replaced the top RC retract with an Electron. You got to do quite a few things different. You have to take off 23 millimeters off of this post. That accounts for the additional trunnion height, as well as with the top RC, when the trunnion's up, the pivot pin is basically for pretty much in line with where the post is, or very slightly off center. As to where the Electron, the pivot is probably a full ½ inch, roughly, or 12 millimeters further back. So what happens is between the additional height of the trunnion and the pivot point being different, it's about 23 millimeter. Otherwise your strut's out too far. So I chucked this up in a lathe, turned that down, turned it down to 13 millimeters that I thought I needed just for the trunnion, and then it was still sticking out too far. And my stock gear door, still in the same place on the lower strut, was what I measured at first was 9 millimeters offset. So I took 9 more off, and then I was off by a millimeter on the stripe, and that really annoyed me. So I took it back into the shop, took another millimeter off. Now it aligns up perfectly. Designed up this pad, I don't know if you can see it, with a gear horn, or I'm sorry, not a gear door, or a horn that I epoxied to the inside of that gear panel. Plenty of surface area for really strong. I like this stuff to be rock solid. Before it was so flimsy with that little nylon hinge, basically like that. This door would flop around. I had 2 control rods trying to keep it somewhat stable. Now you can see I can rock this plane by that gear door now that I have that dual pin hinge system. So I designed this frame that screws into the inside of the wing, and then since I had these 3 holes here already, I went ahead and used those. So that carbon fiber nylon block frame sits in here. You can kind of see it. And then this hinge panel has 2 millimeter pockets, and I just bent up these 2 millimeter rods. So if I want to take it out, I can just pivot this, slide these pins, and this door will come off. And because it's held out at the outside anchor points, that makes it a lot stronger. I went ahead and printed a new, I don't know what you want to call it. This pivot point they give you is really not great, because the distance between where you would mount it to the door and here, by the time it goes down, you need it so long that your gear door will sit way out here, and I didn't like that. So basically I developed this collar that also has this standoff on it, so when the gear door goes down, this door is sitting on top of here tight. It takes out any play. I get a little creative with this horn, so that way when it comes down, it's pulling more straight down rather than at a diagonal. Not horn, control rod, sorry. So now everything is looking pretty good. And you are not moving this door. I mean, I could probably lift this wing up by the door. Finally perfectly flat. There's no rock, there's no swivel. Everything is just how you'd want it to be. Time to do some repaint, and this project is done. Well, got to do the other side now.